On November 1st, a young man and his cousin visited family in Cameron. That evening, they took this photo. Later, when the family looked at it again, they noticed something unsettling. A person was clearly visible standing behind them, facing the camera. The area behind them was blocked off. No one had been standing there, and no one was seen nearby at the time. But clearly, someone, or maybe something, was there. Late one quiet night, a family inside their home heard unfamiliar sounds coming from outside. They looked out toward the trees and noticed two bright red eyes staring directly at the house. The family picked up a camera and began recording. During the footage, the eyes did not move or blink. It didn't look human or animal-like. The surroundings were unusually silent, with no wind, insects, or other background noise. The family looked genuinely panicked. Sadly, they didn't provide any updates after the video was posted. Nobody knows what was outside their home. It was a stormy day when two friends recorded this video.
JC's going in. Holy shit. No! Holy shit!
A large tree suddenly fell right in front of them. If he had been just a step or two behind, he could have been seriously injured. Shaken, he turned back and went inside, realizing it was safer to wait. Late at night, a man was working outside near his home, close to the Appalachian Trail. His dog was with him when they suddenly heard something chilling. A loud, shrill scream echoed from the woods. The sound was high-pitched and closely resembled a woman screaming in distress.
You alright?
The man called out, but no one answered. The source was never identified. Was it just wildlife? This 35mm photograph was taken inside an old abandoned house in Ithaca, Michigan. At the time, the house was completely empty. The same family had lived there since the 1950s. The woman who owned it before was eventually institutionalized. According to relatives, she was convinced a piano played non-stop in the basement, even when no one was home. Deep scratch marks were later found carved into the basement door. Nothing unusual was noticed when this photo was taken. But after the film was developed, a detail emerged that no one remembered seeing. In the window appeared what looked like two children. No one had been near the house that day. Given the home's history, the image wasn't dismissed, but kept as a disturbing record of something never meant to be captured. Reddit user It's Ya Girl BW shared a photo online, saying her aunt had found a bloody, fleshy object in their neighbor's yard. At first, it was mistaken for a squashed insect. After someone suggested it might be a human finger, she returned the next day, but the object was gone. No one saw it being removed. One possibility is that an animal carried it away. No further evidence was found, and no official report was made. Should they have reported it anyway? This trail camera, set up in their backyard, captured something truly unsettling one night. It recorded a figure walking through the yard at midnight, seemingly wearing a long white gown. The property is in a remote area, with neighbors miles away. No one should have been there at that hour. The footage left the family shaken, wondering who was moving through their property late at night. a hunter was deep in the woods when he stumbled upon a truly unsettling sight. Scattered across the ground were handwritten messages on circular plates, along with a small, doll-like face. The phrases hinted at something emotional. Was someone leaving behind a final message? Or could it have been part of a ritual or spiritual practice carried out in the woods? A woman named Natasha from Maryland woke up one morning to find something unsettling on her window. Large marks that resembled paw prints were pressed against the glass. What made it strange was that she lived in a populated area, where encounters with wild animals were highly unlikely. When Natasha stepped outside to investigate further, she noticed scratches etched into the concrete near her front door, marks that looked similar to those on the window.
What are these? Hold on, there's more. Look at these. What the heck happened out here? What is happening inside my house?
Concerned, she recorded a video and shared it online, hoping someone could explain what she was seeing. As people examined the images, they began to notice something odd. The markings weren't consistent. Some appeared to have 3 claw-like lines, while others showed 4 or even 5. That inconsistency led many to believe the marks may not have come from an animal at all, but from a human hand. Was someone deliberately trying to scare her? Was it a prank? Or was the entire incident staged from the beginning? The image was captured by a trail camera placed in a backyard. When it was reviewed later, the owner noticed something unsettling. Someone appeared to be standing in the yard at night, but only in a single frame. The figure seemed to lack facial features and almost looked partially transparent. There was no recorded movement before or after the image was taken, and it made little sense for anyone to be there, as the home is located deep in the woods. It remains unclear whether this was a camera glitch or something unexplained. A woman shared a story about a strange incident that happened at night in her home. She was putting her baby to sleep while her husband stayed in the living room. He messaged her, saying that something was standing in front of him inside the house. Listen to her video.
My daughter's dad goes out for a smoke and sits right here. And I go to lay her down. He texts me and he says, "There's something standing in front of me that's like an alien. I don't know what this thing is. It is seeing through me. It's not looking at me, it's looking through me. And it's not making a sound. There's no reflection on its eyes. It's just barely breathing. It has a tiny mouth and huge eyes at the very, very bottom of its face, right above its mouth. So like the lower third, and then just a giant head." He said that it's like not wrinkly and flabby, but like it has a bunch of tiny crevices, skin crevices all over its body.
When he tried to take a photo, the figure disappeared. Later that night, they both reported seeing a pale figure outside and recorded this video.
There's Merlin. Scared the crap out of me.
Where is he?
Right here. Up here.
Oh, I see. I'm coming that way then.
That's fine.
I'm coming that way then.
That's fine.
It vanished shortly after. They believe it may have been an alien. This series of unsettling videos was recorded by a cemetery worker named Nate at Oak Hill Cemetery in Herkimer County, New York.
As I was unlocking the door and coming in, as I was still out this door, getting my keys, I heard rustling inside of here, or some kind of shifting or movement.
While performing routine work near a grave, Nate reported hearing heavy movement coming from the nearby tree line.
Somewhere along these tree lines, it sounded like something heavy was like running back and forth. Like, I kept turning around expecting to see a deer or something. And it was heavy, so it wasn't like a squirrel. Like, you could hear the steps. You can hear the weight of the steps. But I don't see any deer. I don't see any bear. I don't see anything. I hear something over there, but I don't see anything. You hear that? I can hear moving. But I hear moving. There's nothing there. I don't see anything. I fully expected to see an animal or something. I don't know.
The sounds were loud and distinct, yet no people or animals were visible in the area or on camera. After viewers suggested isolating the audio, something disturbing seemed to emerge. A faint whisper can be heard that many interpret as saying, "You're near me."
But I don't.
Later in the footage, many claim to hear additional phrases like, "You hear me, and I'm right here."
I don't see anything. I fully expected to see an animal or something. I don't know.
What makes the situation even stranger is what happened afterward. In later videos filmed after the cemetery incident, Nate claimed unusual activity began occurring away from the graveyard, first at his workshop, then at his home.
That heavy bag right there sounded like it was being hit, but I wasn't sure. See if we can try to catch it, but it sounded like it was being hit.
In one clip, he says he saw a person walk into his work shed. Moments later, this happened.
Alright, so I just watched somebody walk into here. Those are locked. This is locked. Hello? The fuck? Fuck!
On another day, a door inside the work shed appeared to move on its own.
Out of respect. I'm not trying to
Moments later, Nate reported hearing clear footsteps from inside.
sound like it was behind the cement mixer. Fast footsteps or something that was back there. And clearly you can see there's nobody back there.
Clearly you can see there's nobody back there. Clearly you can see there's nobody back there.
Seconds after that, this happened.
Reach behind there. Holy fuck.
No definitive explanation has ever been confirmed. So the question remains, did these events have a natural explanation, or did something begin the moment Nate heard movement among the graves? A man spotted a bright, unidentified object in the sky. He grabbed a green laser and decided to point it toward the object. Seconds later, similar objects appeared, almost as if they were reacting to the laser.
You see that, Coach Q? They are all over the fucking place. What the fuck?
No verified explanation was given for their sudden presence. However, many commenters warned that pointing lasers into the sky is dangerous and strongly discouraged. In many countries, including the US and much of Europe, aiming a laser at aircraft is illegal and can result in heavy fines or even prison time, as lasers can interfere with the pilot's vision and create serious safety risks. The objects were never identified, and their source remains unknown. We don't know if the man got in any trouble. One morning, a man captured a photo in his cornfield near Mason Ridge with his security camera. The image shows a mysterious upright figure moving between the rows. The town has a long history of stories about the Ridge Weasel Man, a figure said to appear near farms and wooded areas at night. Several residents reported strange animal sounds and distressed livestock shortly before officials arrived. The photo quickly spread online. Its quality is low, similar to many Bigfoot sightings, not very convincing. But who knows? A woman living near the Appalachians shared footage from her outdoor security camera. The video was recorded late at night as dense fog rolled over her property. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Then the fog began moving in slow, rolling waves, almost as if it came out of nowhere. It didn't look natural. The sight caused concern because in 2024, several towns in the US reported unexplained fog later found to contain harmful chemicals. Some commenters claim they see a figure standing in the fog, but I don't see it. Do you? A man on Instagram claimed this footage came from an old game camera mounted on a fence post near a farm outside Medicine Lodge, Kansas at 3:17 a.m. The camera recorded two very tall, thin humanoid figures moving along the edge of a field. Their limbs appeared narrow, their posture slightly hunched, and their movement smooth, similar to figures reported in the Fresno Nightcrawler cases. When the farmer reviewed the footage the next morning, he was shocked. He went outside to see if he could find anything. Behind the spot where the figures passed, a circular impression was discovered in the wheat. The circle had clean edges and a spiral pattern. There were no footprints, scorch marks, or vehicle tracks. Paranormal investigators later reported a faint EMF spike at the site. If the story is real is something we'll never know for sure, but imagine if it is. Now, if you're enjoying my videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. Your support helps me creating new stories every week, and it means the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. While spending a quiet weekend at their cabin in the woods, a couple later noticed something unusual captured by their security camera near the front entrance. The footage shows a cluster of small, bright lights moving slowly and steadily toward the doorway. No people or animals appear anywhere in the frame, and there are no visible sources that could explain the movement. As the lights reach the entrance area, the recording ends. Nothing else was captured afterward, and no further activity was detected that night. To this day, the homeowners have no explanation for what the camera recorded. So what do you think it could be? A Reddit user was visiting his house while it was still being built. He took some photos and then went back home. Later, while looking through the photos, he noticed something strange in one image. A human-shaped figure appeared to be standing in front of a window. He later returned to the house and checked inside. He said there were no marks, dirt, or any sign that someone had been there. Commenters suggested condensation, frost, protective film, or light reflections from interior materials as possible explanations. Similar visual patterns were also noticed on lower windows. But the man claims there was no moisture inside. What do you think? Reddit user Weeby Edgelord recorded something in the sky above Perth, Western Australia from his backyard. The witness reported that the object did not move like a normal aircraft. It changed direction during flight, briefly disappeared, and then reappeared on a different path moments later. The uploader stated that the location is not near airports or flight corridors, and the pulsing green light did not match standard aviation lighting. No confirmed explanation has ever been identified. This footage was captured by local residents in the town of Metepec, Mexico.
A veces gira más fuerte, ¿no? Mire.
Ahorita está bien fuerte.
Mire.
Ya se apagó.
Se apagó.
Ya nomás donde está ya. Ya volvió.
Mire.
No, y la distancia en donde da la vuelta es grande porque desde aquí se ve como una rueda.
Sí, sí.
Pero hasta allá pues deben ser buenos kilómetros.
Sí.
O metros, no sé,
Ajá.
pero no es chiquito.
Sí, sí.
Órale.
While working in his backyard, one resident noticed several blinking lights coming from within the vegetation on a nearby hillside. According to locals, the hills contain nothing but trees, no buildings, towers, or visible structures of any kind. Some viewers suggested the lights might be caused by an electrical cable or equipment, but residents quickly dismissed that idea, stating there are no power lines running through that area. With no clear source identified, the footage has sparked speculation that something may be hidden or concealed within the dense vegetation. Late at night on Ormond Beach, Florida, a home security camera captured something unusual. A glowing object moved smoothly across the camera's field of view, emitting a vivid blue light. Its motion and shape didn't resemble a drone or a balloon, and its apparent height ruled out an aeroplane or helicopter. Strangely, the object appeared only once and was never seen again on the camera. No official explanation has been given, and the footage remains unexplained. A couple stepped outside to get some fresh air while filming, but during the recording, something unusual happened.
You getting some fresh air?
Yeah. Look at the moon.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah, you kind of can come up.
It's gonna be like a full moon soon.
What? I sound pretty far off.
It's
been a couple quiet nights, though.
The area had been quiet for several nights before. The next morning, they heard the noises again.
It's gonna be harder to move through and keep quiet with all the leaves on the ground now.
When it snows, it might be easier to walk around out here.
Yeah.
Can we go home?
Some say it's just a fox or another animal, but others think it could be something scarier. Wouldn't that freak you out? A woman in western Massachusetts recorded repeated nighttime incidents in her backyard. Security cameras show a nearby neighbor entering the property late at night and wandering around. The neighbor was later identified as having a severe sleepwalking condition. The footage shows her making unusual noises, hiding, approaching the front door, and whispering. Mandy asked the neighbor to secure her home, call the cops, or seek medical help, but no action was taken, and the incidents are still happening. A woman was recording a TikTok video to show her outfit. During the recording, a large spider climbed onto her clothes without her noticing. Fortunately, she eventually spotted the spider and managed to leave it behind on the bus. And for more encounters, just watch this next video.